choices. Information, value, entertainment, choice. Yours on Cox Communications.
The following is a special presentation of TNN Motorsports. For the Lucky Four battling at the top of the NASCAR Winston Cup point standings, this has indeed been a magical season. And today, that battle continues. But this magic mile holds more than mere points battles up its sleeve. It sparkles with the promise of reclaimed destiny. It shimmers with the emotions felt only by those who have come too close to losing it all and willed themselves back to the top of the heap. It shines with the sweet sheen of success and the sheer power of passion that comes to those who have fought for and attained their dreams. But for every dream brought to life, a field of nightmares lurk as the glitter of magic becomes a quick gray trip to the wall of reality. Today, the air is electric as the stage is set for the mile to once again work its magic. Race fans have made their way to the New Hampshire International Speedway. With temperatures in the 70s, it is a perfect day for racing, made even more ideal because one of New England's own is on the pole for the Jiffy Lube 300. The storylines today: Ricky Craven's comeback is a big one. Magic or tragic? What's the story on this racetrack? And can Jeff Gordon three-peat? We'll find out.
It was a good lap. It wasn't a very pretty day, Gosh, it's an emotional moment because 3.5 months ago, I didn't know when I was going to race again, if I was going to race again. And Tony Furr's awesome. Jeez, I just couldn't wait to get back and work with him and the guys. And phenomenal group of guys, and you can see their presence was being felt the last few races. My good friend Rick Hendrick, thank you. Pop, everybody, and obviously, thank the Lord for mending me back into racing condition. The most important thing is just being able to be back here and be with my family. This is my family. I mean, obviously I have my immediate family, but these guys mean the world to me. And I was honestly, I was scared to death all week because I just didn't know what to expect. And I got 1,000,001 doctors to thank, and this is as messed up as I've been in a long time.
Well, the emotions were flowing freely from Ricky Craven on this his comeback weekend. Is this the magic mile, or for some, might it be a tragic mile if they think they can win but don't get to victory lane? And can Jeff Gordon become the only 3-time winner? He's right now the only 2-time NASCAR Winston Cup winner here at the New Hampshire International Speedway. Buddy Baker is with us as per usual. I know you had a chance to spend a good bit of time with Ricky Craven not all that long ago, and he's ready to get back to the racetrack.
He is that, but he had so many questions that hadn't been answered. And then he got a test program up at Watkins Glen. Then he raced in the Grand National race up there, said it answered so many questions for himself. But, he and I talked before that. I could tell he wasn't sure, but I think he's back, guys.
He is back, no doubt about that. Bobby Hamilton is back, all the way back at the end of the field, because in qualifying here on Saturday, second round Bud Pole qualifying, that's what happened. The backup car in place, he's been relegated to the back of the field, Glenn Jarrett. A long way to come on a flat racetrack.
Yes, he has, Eli, and I tell you what, this weekend has started off to be a little nightmarish for Bobby Hamilton. You wrecked the car that you won with at Martinsville. You had to use a provisional to get in the field. I tell you what, you guys have struggled. You got to feel like that things are going to get a little better when the race starts, Bobby.
Well, it can't get no worse, Glenn. Unloaded a pretty good car, though. I'd never raced this car before, and it drove really good. We was a little tight in the middle, and I think a lot of people are fighting that right now, but the car seems to be driving good, and I think we're just going to work on it, see how we do today. And I want to tell Cecil McClure back in Abington to get well soon. We're thinking about it.
Okay, Bobby, best of luck to you. Now let's go way you up pit road to Matt Yoakum.
Well, thanks, Glenn. 1998 has been a magical year for Chad Little. His new association with partner Jack Roush has yielded a career-best finish of second at Texas. Today he starts a career-best fourth for the second straight year. But not on Chad's side is history. No driver has ever scored their first Winston Cup victory here on the Magic Mile. But Chad, can you change that history today?
You better believe it. I think that we've got the car to do it. Practice went really well. This is certainly a handling racetrack. You're not going to be able to do it unless your car is able to get a lot of good forward bite coming off the corner so you can get in that throttle early and stay in it pretty hard all the way through the corner. That's the whole key. We'll find out, within the first couple tire cycles if we can get that type of bite and stay with it all day long.
Well, good luck. Jeremy Mayfield pulled off the feed at Pocono. Little hopes to change history today on the Magic Mile. Now to Steve Burns.
Well, Steve Burns, obviously a little audio problem as he getting set there to chat with Darrell Waltrip, another driver who hopes to do awfully well here today. Hopefully a chance to chat with DW, and if not now, maybe in Victory Lane a bit later on. Stick around. More from Loudon, New Hampshire in a moment. CNN Motorsports live coverage of the Jiffy Lube 300 is being brought to you by Jiffy Lube. Drive in, drive out, drive on. By Miller Lite, who reminds you that whenever you feel good, it's Miller time. And by First Plus Financial. At First Plus, you don't need equity, you just need a home.
All across America, you're there to see us through. Just around the corner, a neighborhood Jiffy Lube.
You depend on your car, so trust it to Jiffy Lube. Jiffy Lube makes it easy. Every 3,000 miles.
3,000 miles, you make us smile. America's Jiffy Lube.
Drive in, drive out, drive on.
Rusty, it's a woodchuck and he's hurt. Rusty, it's up to you.
Suppose you could save hundreds of dollars a month. Suppose you could cut your monthly payments in half. Suppose you could get a home equity loan up to 125% of the value of your home, so that even if you have little or no equity, you could still qualify for a debt consolidation loan. It's all possible, and it's all at First Plus.
So call 1-800-510-PLUS. At First Plus, we're working first for you.
Independent rear suspension, dual shocks, and a sway bar. Rick, it's all there.
That's good, because when things get rough out there, suspension is everything.
The Sportsman by Polaris is the best performing, best riding ATV you can buy. Here's why. Other manufacturers use a straight axle that bounces over obstacles, losing traction. Our independent rear suspension hugs the terrain for better traction and a smoother ride. The Sportsman 500 and the all-new Sportsman 335 with shaft drive.
You gotta ride it to believe it.
Welcome back, everybody, as the field awaits the command to fire the engines for today's Jiffy Lube 300 here at the New Hampshire International Speedway. Dr. Dick Bergwin joins us now, and I've just been sitting here thinking to myself, who's going to win this race? And, of course, you've got the Bobby Hamiltons and the Mark Martins and the Rusty Wallaces, the Ricky Rudge. Does the winner come from that list?
He might, but then again, Jeff Gordon might turn out to be the winner. He is exceptionally good here. He's the only guy who has won twice at New Hampshire. They've had 6 races here. He's led 5 of them. And look at his 98 season. He's on top of the points right now. He has won 4 times this year, and he starts on the outside of the front row. That number 24 car, going to see a lot of that today.
Well, we are set to go racing, so why don't we head trackside right now for the command to fire the engines. John E. Sununu from the 1st Congressional District here in New Hampshire with the command. And with those words, we are set to go racing the Jiffy Lube 300 on TNN Motorsports just around the corner. And as soon as we come back, the starting lineup. So stay with us on a magnificent day in the Granite State of New Hampshire.
keep your car looking clean, but you've got to keep your engine clean, too. Newly formulated Valvoline DuraBlend motor oil is a synthetic blend that suspends the dirt, unburned fuel, and water that cause harmful deposits and reduces oil burn-off. DuraBlend protects vital engine parts, so your engine runs cleaner and better longer. It outperforms all leading conventional motor oils because a car can look great. But it's what's inside that counts. Valvoline DuraBlend.
It happens every year in some of the most remote stretches of land in Mexico. And in the world of off-road racing, it's truly the whole enchilada, the legendary Baja 1000. A mountain of dust for those who can stand to eat it, and the end of the line for those who can't. That's why more drivers who challenge the Baja rely on the Duralast battery than any other. The same Duralast you can rely on in your car, because it's the one we stock at AutoZone. The Duralast battery. Power you can depend on.
Major hazard. You left the base without authorization. Proceeded to Burger King and ordered a rodeo burger?
I've served this command for over...
Answer the question! Did you order the rodeo burger?
You're darn right I did. It was flame broiled and delicious.
Burger King salutes small soldiers with a tasty new rodeo burger. Cheese, onion rings, bullseye barbecue sauce. Right now, part of the 99-cent Great Taste menu.
That rodeo burger, it was pretty tasty, huh?
You can't handle the rodeo burger.
If you ask us, it just tastes better.
Finally, man has achieved Mach 3.
There's nothing like the feeling of a new car. We bought the Armor All Protectant. It shines, it protects, it's new car juice.
July 25th on TNN Motorsports. With only a handful of races left, the points battle is heating up. But it doesn't matter if you're at the top or at the bottom, rookie or veteran, male or female. Someone is always looking for a pocket full of cash and a trip to victory lane. It's live Busch Grand National Racing. It's the Lycos.com 300, presented by Valleydale Foods. July 25th, 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific on TNN Motorsports.
We are back here at New Hampshire International Speedway. The Jiffy Lube 300 for the NASCAR Winston Cup team set to go. There's the AutoZone race analysis brought to you by the more than 2,000 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. 7th Winston Cup Series race here, and here's who's in the starting lineup. Ricky Craven, 5th place here in September of a year ago. And Jeff Gordon, his 7th front row start in the last 8 races. Dale Jarrett and Chad Little in row number 2. Jeff Burton and Kyle Petty, his best start of 1998. There's old DW. Rusty Wallace and Bobby Labonte. Gary Bradbury, fellas, oftentimes happens. A driver change in a car, and there's Gary qualifying near the front of the field.
You know, it was a strange qualifying, though. We had rain right up to qualifying, so we'll see how he does in the race.
Kenny Wallace and Rick Mast. Dale Earnhardt was second here in July of a year ago. Jerry Nadeau, he'll be dropping to the back of the field. Jimmy Spencer and Hunt Strickland. Kenny Schrader hoped to be able to grab the pole, but when he made his qualifying lap here on Friday, Dick Berggren, he left his lead behind.
Yeah, it kind of came out of the race car. NASCAR saw it, disallowed the time. He had to go in the second round.
Terry Labonte is here. There's Ricky Rudd and Ward Burton, Sterling Marlin and Lake Speed in row number 18. Then the provisional starting spots from this point on back. Steve Grissom was 4th here in both races last year. Presley, Bodine, and Andy Hillenberg. He started the car this weekend. Then Morgan Shepherd got in for the second round of Bud Pole qualifying. And now Hillenberg's in it here on race day.
Well, the reason for that is they said they brought Hillenberg up to race the car, but he wasn't quite fast enough. They had hoped that Morgan was going to get the car in the field without a provisional. When he didn't, they put Hillenberg back in it again.
We'll be getting a ride around this mile racetrack with 7 of the drivers in the field today. That is, of course, Ricky Craven, not Ward Burton, as Ricky is our Bud pole sitter in the Budweiser machine. There's Ward Burton's car, the MBNA Pontiac, with the Inside Outdoors sponsorship. We'll talk more about that a bit later on. Jerry Nadeau Although that right there is Mike Skinner, with whom we are riding. The name said Nadeau, but the uniform says otherwise. That is Mike Skinner for the Richard Childress Racing Team. Mark Martin has the Valvoline Ford out of the Jack Roush stables. We'll also be getting rides around the Speedway again with Mike Skinner, whom we showed you moments ago. Gary Bradbury is on board the Tabasco machine. One race deal again. They expect to name a full-time driver here fairly soon. Jeff Burton. He'll be starting near the front in 5th. And we have the Tabasco look, and again there's Ricky Craven. Set to go racing. Pace car pulls away. Let's listen in and watch as the Jiffy Lube 300 is set to roll.
Green flag, green flag, green, green.
Start now to turn 3 and 4, riding with Mike Skinner.
Eli, you can see the cars moving back and forth. The back ends on the car is very loose the first couple of laps. That's due to low air pressure in these tires. As they build up, they'll get much more stable and they won't be washing around quite as much.
So Ricky Craven in his first race back leads the first lap of the Jiffy Lube 300. There goes Ernie Irvin now in the 36, challenging Rusty Wallace. That's for 7. Mike Skinner in the 31 goes downstairs and drives by him and rubs right past. Riding right there with Mike Skinner.
Well, as you can see right now, a car on the outside of the second groove around this corner this early in the race is not sticking as well as right around the base of that yellow line in the corners there. So they're having to give and take a lot.
Trouble right there, midway down the back straightaway, Ward Burton and Kenny Irwin. And caution is on the speedway. Caution, lap number 2. The race back to the stripe is going to be Ricky Craven holding off Jeff Gordon and Dale Jarrett. So caution on the speedway as we again ride with Ward Burton as he pulls away from the accident scene. He, Kenny Irwin, Robert Presley all involved.
Every one of them back under their own speed there, but you see Robert Presley has a lot of damage to the left rear quarter panel of his race car.
So caution for the first time here today. Let's take a look at exactly what happened here on lap number 3 as we go up to the corner. Everybody wants the same piece of real estate, guys. Oh, it looks like Spencer went wide. The 23.
See Kenny Irwin right there going round and round.
Then along came Ward Burton, late speed, woed down, but it looked like the 23 might have been the first one to kick out. Let's watch it again.
Yeah, Jimmy Spencer definitely got into the 28 there, Kenny Irwin. You see that's Ted Musgraves there spinning around also,
and
the 16.
Ward, right, Ward Burton.
It has not been a pretty first few laps. There have been several occasions where cars have been running 3 wide and been a lot of pretty brave stuff here going into the corners. It was almost inevitable that something was going to happen, and soon.
Last year in July, only 2 caution flags. Here in September, we had 8. And at this pace, of course, we're well ahead of schedule for any of those numbers. Ward Burton is in. So too Kenny Irwin. Robert Presley is in. Also the Hillenberg machine. Let's go to Steve Burns.
Eli, Kenny Irwin on pit road. I can see the left side of the car. There's heavy damage to the left front. They're trying to pull the sheet metal away, getting a tire off and back onto the left side. But again, heavy damage behind the left front to Kenny Irwin. Now he stalls off. Stall's trying to get off pit road. And again, they're looking under the right side now. So heavy sheet metal damage to the 28 of Kenny Irwin.
Let's see what Ward Burton saw. Remember, he's carrying our onboard camera. And let's see the view he had over there in the corner. It'll happen in turn 1. Steve Grissom, the 41, gets by. You saw Bobby Hamilton going by in the grass right there. So we are under caution. Pit stops for some. Derek Cope is in at lap number 5. Ray Evernham's driver, Jeff Gordon, is currently second.
On today's rough roads, if you ever need to stop quickly, consider replacing your worn shock absorbers. It can be like getting an extra 10 feet of road when you need it most. Replace your worn shocks with new Monroe Sensatrack, now with SafeTech. Unlike worn shocks, Sensatrack helps hold your tire to the road. Tests show you can stop an average of 10 feet sooner, and that can make a big difference. Monroe Sensatrack, making the road a safer place.
You better believe a paint like this from a store like this will go on like this, live on like this, and look like this, give you pride like this, 'cause it's true.
The Great Paint event is on at True Value. Now's the time to save on everything you need. But hurry, the event ends July 12th. The Great Paint event, only at True Value. Great paint, great store.
Mack trucks are furnished by Clement Chevy Mack Sales. For all your truck and tractor needs, call Clement at 1-800-369-MACK. Visit, experience, shop Simpson World, a racer and race fan superstore, now open in Mooresville, North Carolina, Indianapolis, Indiana, Torrance, California, and opening soon in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Race fans, you make the call. New LCI long-distance customers receive 30 minutes of free calling and a calling card featuring participating drivers. Don't delay. Call now, 1-888-TEAM-LCI.
Well, Kenny Irwin still on pit road, made a lap, came back, and now you see him pulling away again. Sterling Marlin has been in a couple of times. Robert Presley.
The 28 car just stand of Kenny Irwin. They strung it. They put a string on the right front wheel there, but all the way the rear wheel to check the alignment of the car, and it checked out pretty good. He's back underway.
And so are we. Green flag here in Loudon, New Hampshire, lap number 8. Ricky Craven leads. Jeff Gordon, Dale Jarrett, Kyle Petty is 4th, and Jeff Burton 5th. Gordon just looking around while Craven leads for the 4th straight race here at New Hampshire. This is the 2nd race he's led this year. Early in the season, he led 6 laps at Rockingham.
You know, Kenny Irwin Jr. just come out of the pits, and he's dropping back. He has some damage to the front end of that car. I don't expect him to run until the next caution flag.
Mike Skinner, you might have just seen, made the move going into the corner, and now he rides up in the 5th spot, having bypassed Jeff Burton. There goes the battle for the lead into turn number 3.
I would remind you that these two guys are teammates. They both run out of the same stable, but they are also very good friends. Spend a lot of time together.
Here comes the 5 points for Jeff Gordon for leading a lap here.
So Jeff Gordon for the 10th straight race. He has now led. That's the 6th time in the 7 races here that he's led, but Craven's not satisfied on his return to sit in 2nd.
He said, there's your 5 points, but I want to lead the race here in my home. He loves this place up here. There wasn't one person when he sat on the pole the other day sitting down. Everybody up applauding his effort in qualifying.
Well, lap number 10, Ricky Craven reassumes the lead.
He's had so much success here. He won a Busch Grand National race here in '91. He won a couple of Busch North races here. He's won Busch Grand National pole here. This is really, if any place is his home track, this is Ricky Craven's home track. He lives right near here. These people watched him come up through the ranks in this area, and I'm sure this is one delighted crowd seeing their hometown kid come back from head injuries to lead this thing.
You're wondering Darrell Waltrip's doings? There he is in 10th right now with John Andretti in the 43 car right there with him.
Eli, he's having a great time. He said the other day he likes it when it gets slick, and he had his wish because he had a great qualifying effort there. You can see John Andretti looking to the inside. Darrell giving him, come on by.
I'll tell you, that team is going to miss Darrell Waltrip when he moves on. They're certainly looking forward to Steve Park, but they've all had an enormously good time with Darrell Waltrip. Philippe Lopez, the crew chief, says Waltrip has inspired the team, and everybody has tremendous confidence as a result of what has happened.
And look who's coming in right behind them. There's the 33 of Kenny Schrader, who started back in 26th, and Schrader's now in 12th. Riding with Mark Martin, looking rearward. He's got Bobby Labonte right behind him. And looking ahead there towards Ken Schrader.
You want to see a car getting great grip off the corner there. The 33 of Kenny Schrader is coming off the corner as straight as it can possibly come off.
And there you see the darker portion in the turns. That's where they painted 1,750 gallons of that track reconditioner the other day. It's a... They did?
The sealer.
It's a sealer. They call it a track reconditioner.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, it's water and a high concentration of sand. That's what makes up that black stuff.
And it's only upstairs. The very bottom groove is a very, very smooth asphalt. Upstairs a little bit more gritty. There's a change for the lead, baby.
Oh,
maybe not.
Did I say they were friends?
Jeff Gordon got down on the apron then. He made a little contact with Craven as they got in the center part of the corner. You see Dale Jarrett coming now.
Yeah.
Craven hung on the outside.
That's Craven's bigger problem here. He may not be able to get back in line because Jeff Burton's going to close it up too. Indeed, Burton does.
Anyway, the point of the sealer is to make the outside stick better, to try and make this a racier track and improve the quality of the upstairs groove. We'd have to ask Ricky Craven about that along about now.
Eli, you see the 44 there. That's Kyle Petty. This is one of his best runs of the whole year. Great qualifying effort by him, and now he's moving towards the front.
Kyle has not had good runs of late. 14 finishes of 22nd or worse in the 16 races thus far this year. Wouldn't this be sweet redemption for that team?
Yeah, and he's good here, too. He finished on the lead lap of both races last year. Even though he's never led a lap here, he's good on these flat tracks for sure.
Gordon, Jarrett, Jeff Burton, your front three.
Chevrolet, 2 Fords, and a Pontiac.
There's a good scramble behind. Remember the 28, Kenny Irwin, not among the leaders there. He is already a lap down in 41st spot.
Yeah, he's struggling real bad. I think he's coming in the pits as we speak. I know he's fighting the car. Yeah, he didn't look very... You can see the right front is cocked out just a little bit.
Steve Burns, I know you're still there, and it's not good when the tire is waving at you as he comes in straight.
Eli, Buddy Baker hit it right on the head a minute ago when he said they had strung the car, and they're doing it again. The simplest way to put this is they're checking the alignment, and now Kenny Irwin has shut the motor off, so this is going to be a long, if not indefinite, stay for Kenny Irwin.
Involved in that lap 3 accident, and Kenny is on the pit lane now for service.
Eli, you see Dale Jarrett running along here in second. He is front on the bottom of the racetrack. Runs this racetrack extremely well. Robert Yates Motors really get down these long straightaways. I think he's going to be a tough guy to beat all day long, but he wants a 5-point bonus also.
Of course, you've got to be able to control and harness that Robert Yates power. Doesn't do you any good to start spinning the wheels on a flat racetrack.
Just remember, the straightaways are longer than the corners.
As long as you handle on the straightaways, I hear you. Just underway, 19 laps in. 90's Dick Trickle right there. Working the outside groove in 22nd spot.
His car owner, Jimmy Dunleavy, has returned to the races. Yep. He's walking around with a spry step. Actually saw him running through the garage yesterday. He climbed on top of the hauler. He has been out most of the season with coronary problems, but looks great and says he feels great.
It was super to see him back here this weekend. Let's see if Dick Trickle gives something to smile about. Closer to the front. That 91, not on the lead lap. Andy Hillenberg, a lap down at 41st. Everybody else, however, is on the lead lap in that picture.
The 98 there, Rich Bickle, was the second quickest car in happy hour yesterday, so he's got a very good race car. You see him on the outside there of the 91 car.
And interestingly, Ricky Rudd in the 10 is using an engine this week that is rented from Cale Yarborough Motorsports, trying to get all the things in gear under the hood. Ricky said, we're going to try something else. So the 10 right there is using a power plant from the 98 team.
Well, they did for a while. They yanked it just before the race.
Leg speed got hit there by
Brett Bodine.
Yeah.
Jerry Nadeau had the great view of it. Yeah, they decided to make that change just before race time, but all weekend long, Rudd was going with a 98 power plant.
Well, they kind of had to try something, and that was a really good move for him to try another engine, see if it was engines that were causing them the problems, and now they get a chance to try them back-to-back and see how things are going to work.
Michael Waltrip in that orange number 21, trying to get back down low, and he can't. He's back to 31st spot before he gets in line. There comes the 4, Bobby Hamilton on the move.
Bobby Hamilton started dead last right now, and he's already worked his way into 30th place and now moving up.
Terry Labonte also on the move among all of these machines out there. Started 32nd, and he's now running 20th as we watch Hamilton slice his way through traffic with Jeff Bodine following him through in that Phillips number 7. Up front, 0.2 of a second was the advantage that Gordon had on Jarrett, but Dale has cut her right down going into the corner. This is the battle for the lead as Gordon shows the way 24 laps in car number 24. We're early here at New Hampshire International Speedway. There's caution on the speedway. Sterling Marlin's in the wall. We'll update you when we come back.
Welcome to the newest Pep Boys Automotive Super Center. On your right, a world-class collection of accessories. And moving along, you'll find the tires.
Impressive. Very. Right now, all 35,000-mile steel-belted radials, 4 for just $99. Any size, any 4, $99. With prices this low, you won't just like Pep Boys. You're going to love it. Pep Boys. Cars like us.
People love us.
How come the leading oil filter material stops less dirt than Mobil 1's filter material? That's how come the Mobil 1 oil filter. Nothing stops dirt better. Available at AutoZone or call for the retailer nearest you.
This week on NASCAR Garage, meet NASCAR owner and driver Dave Marcus. Check out the critical steering gear and more.
NASCAR Garage, this weekend on the leader for motorsports coverage, TNN Motorsports.
A summer storm is coming to Norfolk. A deluge that will turn Willoughby Bay into a sea of froth. A hurricane of unlimited hydroplanes that will slash across the water at 200 miles per hour. On July 17th, 18th, and 19th, board up your windows, grab your family, and bring them to Willoughby Spit for the 1998 Virginia is for Lovers Cup Unlimited Hydroplane Race. General admission is free.
This summer, only on the Superstation. The world's best athletes. The world's biggest stage. The 1998 Goodwill Games. 1,500 athletes, 60 countries. The 1998 Goodwill Games are coming to New York, where the world's best proven only on the Superstation.
Beginning July 19th, the world's best athletes strut their stuff on TBS and Cox Cable.
Welcome back, everybody. As we were breaking away moments ago, we just told you that Sterling Marlin had problems and caution on the speedway. It came out at lap number 26 as Sterling A had a tire go down. And then, buddy, when that happens, if he can't come in immediately, that flapping Goodyear rubber is going to start stripping pieces off the race car.
10 inches wide, and it's like a tomahawk underneath the left rear corner there. It did a lot of damage to the car itself, but knocked all the inner panels out. You see part of the metal gone on the left rear corner, right in that area right there. You can see where it just lifted the whole quarter panel up, and that knocked all the aluminum backing out of there.
So debris off Sterling Marlin's car. Here's what happened a short while ago. Outside of Lake Speed.
Whoa. say Lake kind of cut that tire down. You see the back end of the car get real loose as the tire goes flat, and around he goes. As of right now, he hadn't hit the outside wall, so he's able to he got it back straight,
Nice
and able to go on.
But coming around the mile to get to pit road, that's when he stripped off all the other debris. That's what Ward Burton saw from his view. So caution for the second time and flew at lap number 26. Jeff Gordon continues to lead. Pit stops for some. One of the quickest cars on the track is Ken Schrader. He's up to 13th, and we'll talk more of him when we come back to New Hampshire in a moment.
Hi, I'm Jim Palmer. The Money Store is so sure they have the best home loan under the sun, they guarantee it. It's the 90-day no-pay. The loan that lets you refinance your home, lower your monthly payments, and take a break from your mortgage for 3 months. That's right, lower payments and no mortgage for 3 months. If you find a better deal anywhere in America, we'll refund your money, guaranteed. But hurry, this offer ends soon. Call 1-800-LOAN-YES and ask for the 90-day no-pay, only at the Money Store.
I thought you were starting to go gray.
I was, but I never did.
So what happened, a miracle?
You can't tell?
Tell what?
I use Just for Men.
That's hair color?
Even your barber can't tell you use the hair coloring called Just for Men. Simply shampoo in, then rinse. In only 5 minutes, this unique Just for Men formula blends away the gray, actually matches your gray to your real color.
I never would have guessed.
Just for Men. So natural, even your barber can't tell.
As Napa drivers, you're responsible for safely delivering the best parts in the world. So I've brought in a special guest instructor. Ron Hornaday, NASCAR Cup Series champion.
You want to go to the turns about 130.
What's a safe distance to be from the guy in front of you?
5 inches. It's called drafting. Huh? All right, get in the truck. I'm going to have to show you. Oh, you getting all this down?
They're going to can me for this.
Race fans. What brings them together? What draws these noble pilgrims to their hallowed grounds? Is it the speed, the passion, the thrill of victory?
No, it's $1 million. It's the money.
It's the money.
Fill up with Texaco Clean System 3 and play Race to Millions. Get the lucky card and your driver could win you $1 million.
I thought they came to see me.
Play Texaco's Race to Millions now.
GNN Motorsports live coverage from the New Hampshire International Speedway is being brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. At Napa, we keep America running. And by Texaco. Texaco, a world of energy. Back in New Hampshire, there is Sterling Marlin's machine, having just gotten the 1-to-go signal and a new set of Goodyear Racing Eagles. Now, what happens here when all of these pieces of rubber come off the race car and start knocking out crush panels and all of that, buddy? Could make for a long day for Sterling.
Well, you can see the rubber now getting loose from the rim and starting to hit the quarter panel there, knocking the inner panels out. Does a lot of damage. And that also will increase the heat inside the car because it's now knocked out the inner panels there.
And if you're a John Andretti fan, there he is now. Started in 16th. He's up to 7th place. A lot of guys making some good moves. Skinner is running in 6th right there in the 31. A lot of interesting names near the front. Green flag is in the air. Lap number 33. Kenny Irwin, you see, coming off the pit lane again. He is now being shown 13 laps down.
Eli, you can see Mike Skinner there. He is flying up through this crowd right now. Right now, he just got by John Andretti. He's working on Rusty Wallace.
Skinner is finally back to health again. He says he came back from those injuries at Texas and Atlanta too quickly. Says that has really hurt his performance. And he and Larry McReynolds are clicking as well. So those two guys said before the race, this could be a big one for that team.
Single file among the leaders. Just joining us, 2 cautions today. One at lap 3. And Ward Burton, Kenny Irwin, Robert Presley, and Ted Musgrave all spun. At now the one for debris off Sterling Marlin's car. Total of 9 caution laps to this moment.
Riding with Jeff Burton here, looking at Dale Jarrett. It takes Dale Jarrett about 5 or 6 laps to get his tires hot, and then all of a sudden he'll run right back up on Gordon. But right at the moment,
Trouble. Bodine in the wall. Lake Speed, Nemechek, Spencer in the wall. There's fire from the Steve Grissom machine. Hut Strickland is in the 96. Gary Bradbury driving through the carnage. And you see Grissom moving around. Lap 34, caution. You had Spencer, Lake Speed, Nemechek's machine. You had Hut Strickland, Steve Grissom, as the track just narrowed up off the number 4 corner. And there is the native of Gadsden, Alabama, who had finished 4th in each race here a year ago. Won't finish 4th today. There's Hut Strickland's machine.
Tremendous amount of damage there. Radiator, the right front wheel is smashed all the way back to the firewall on the 96. Hut Strickland.
And that team needed a break. They have had 6 DNFs in a row, the 96 team.
That's Grissom there in the green and white suit.
There's Spencer right there. They have not thrown the red. Those guys are just waiting for the line of traffic to get through the accident scene.
Eli, look at the damage on the front of the 23 of Jimmy Spencer. Tremendous amount of damage.
Yeah, here comes Spencer in. There's as much, if not more, damage on Nemechek's car as there is on Spencer's machine as well. So everywhere you look, there's Lake Speed surveying the Cartoon Network car. Well, what happened? Let's take a look and see if we can pinpoint it. Here's the setup going down the back stretch into turn 3.
That's Jeff Bodine going high there. Andy Hillenberg in the 91 under him. Lake Speed just behind him. They make contact right there.
Hillenberg and Bodine got together, and that's what keyed it all.
It just started to get sideways. He almost had it saved until he and Hillenberg made contact.
You can see Bill Elliott right back in this area, just creeping through there, avoiding everyone in that wreck.
Watch this. And from high overhead, Hillenberg and Bodine. Strickland into Speed.
Yeah. Spencer's just behind there in that cloud of smoke. No, he has no idea where to go. Grissom there in flames there in the 41. Now into the outside wall.
Jerry Nadeau is right behind. Let's watch this. Look at all that beating and banging. God, you would have thought you were running Martinsville.
It looked like a video game, didn't it?
Didn't it?
Wow.
Man. There's Joe Nemechek's car already behind the wall, and from this angle, unfortunately, you can't see the significance of the damage. See where the guys are working on what used to be the front end. Trust me, if the hood were down, there isn't a whole heck of a lot there to work on. They're having to straighten out all the sheet metal. And, Buddy, I guess the problem there is, as we saw with Hut Strickland and Lake Speed, if one guy woes down at one pace, and if you don't necessarily expect it, that just furthers this domino effect.
Eli, what you do, you pick up the throttle in the center part of the corner, and you're really getting off the corner in a straight line. All of a sudden, things happen in front of you. By the time you get on the brake, you're almost blinded by the smoke of the spinning cars, and you just get into, it's almost like on the freeway where you just get caught up in wrecks that you have nothing to do with because you can't avoid them because you can't see them.
Well, tough day for Steve Grissom. Had high hopes for a fine finish here in New Hampshire today. Steve Grissom is the subject of our Home Depot driver profile. Home Depot, where low prices are just the beginning. Steve Grissom is in his 5th season with the NASCAR Winston Cup circuit. He entered the series from the NASCAR Busch Series ranks, where he won the championship in 1993. The step up the stock car ladder has left quite an impression on him.
I can remember being asked the question after leaving the Busch Series and winning the championship, how long do you think it's going to take to make the adjustment in Winston Cup? And I said, well, I don't feel like it's going to be too long, because when we come from short track racing to the Busch Series, we was going to these tracks for the first time and not only had to learn new cars, but learn the tracks also, and felt like, after being in the Busch Series, that we had a pretty decent handle on the racetracks, and it was just going to be adjusting to the cars. And I tell you what, it's a bigger step. I mean, these guys are obviously, they're the best.
Last season, Grissom enjoyed his greatest success here at New Hampshire with back-to-back 4th-place finishes. His past fortune here has given the team an added measure of confidence at the Magic Mile.
Obviously, we've got something that worked good for us here last year. The only difference is that the rules has changed just a little bit from this time last year to now, not only with the bodies, but with the engines also. So you've got a couple of different variables, but still it comes back to, it gives me as a driver a lot of confidence and the team a lot of confidence to know that we've got a good shock package, a good spring package, and then, we feel like we know where we need to come off the truck at, and with that, if we're not where we need to be, then we know some areas we need to work on.
Today, Grissom returns to Loudon riding on a solid 10th place finish in Sonoma, and the Kodiak team has definite goals for the second half of the season.
The guys at Kodiak have been great. They've been around this sport for a long time, and they've been through the ups and downs, and Larry's been around this deal for a long time, and he's seen it too. So again, right now we're just trying to get our deal straightened out and try to get to where we can be competitive on a consistent basis.
There is Steve Grissom's Kodiak machine done for the day. Hud Strickland's car to the garage area. Joe Nemechek is being worked on. At least his car is right there. Lap number 38 is on the board. You see Matt Yoakum leading alongside that race car. Matt, a lot of work to be done.
Eli Scott, Eagleston and Company, working on the Bell South Chevy. The front pushed into the form of a snowplow. They're trying to reshape the fenders. They're going to have to replace the oil cooler and also the radiator. Joe, what happened?
I'm not real sure. It seemed like someone either blew up or lost an oil line, and it all started back going in turn 3. I got all squirrely and slid up the track, and then coming off, they just started wrecking in front of me like everybody hit the oil, and I couldn't steer my car. I was trying to steer out of the wreck, but you just hit the oil, and I had the wheels cut, and it just kept going straight. So just real unfortunate. This whole Bell South team has been working so hard, and it's just really disappointing. We had a really good race car for here, just trying to bide our time.
Well, tough break for Joe Nemechek. They're working on the car, but it's going to be a lengthy stay behind the pit wall.
Well, they have put a lot of speedy dry down in turn number 4. Whether that was the cause or the aftermath of the accident, we'll find out. Right now, though, we break away while track cleanup continues. 39 laps complete in the Jiffy Lube 300.
Finally, after 49 years, you now have a soft drink that not only refreshes your thirst, it refreshes your sport. Drink accordingly.
Home Depot is very serious about paint. We want to be your paint store.
We have drop cloths and sponges and brushes.
It's a paint store. We have a paint store within the Home Depot.
Everything that you'll need to paint, we'll have it in the store.
We have the products and the product knowledge that the paint stores have.
Waterproof your wood with Bear Stain. Its protective coating shields against the effects of ultraviolet light and mildew, so it prevents shrinking, warping, and cracking. You'll find Bear Stain at the guaranteed low price every day at the Home Depot.
After 50 years of sponsoring professional rodeo, you learn a few things about horsepower. Like when it's a good time to put your brand on the horse with the most power. Wrangler is a proud sponsor of the Dale Earnhardt Incorporated #1 race car. Driven by Steve Park and branded by Wrangler.
Okay,
guys, who's turning 50?
Do I look 50?
Hey, I just turned 40.
Not me. He's the older one. Older but faster.
Yeah, right.
Well, who is turning 50?
NASCAR is. And Excite NASCAR Select is celebrating with the Big 50 celebration. Win NASCAR race tickets or the grand prize.
An MB&A MasterCard worth $50,000.
Thanks, I'll be right back.
Hey, thanks for it.
The Big 50 celebration. Enter wherever Excite NASCAR Select is sold.
Oh, well.
Next weekend on TNN, it's wall-to-wall racing with the Pennzoil World of Outlaws. And we do mean wall-to-wall. All the action starts Friday night with the Eldora Clash on TNN Motor Madness. And Saturday night, there's more sprint car racing as the Outlaws battle for $50,000 in the 15th Annual Kings Royal. See the Eldora Clash Friday night at 8, then the Kings Royal Saturday night at 9. All next weekend on TNN.
Welcome back to New Hampshire, continuing under caution here in the Jiffy Lube 300. Don't forget, folks, you can enter TNN's Take Home a Piece of the Action sweepstakes. That's right, you could actually take home a piece of the action if you can answer a bit later on today who is leading at the completion of the 50th lap. You could win a trip to a NASCAR Winston Cup race. It'll be televised right here on TNN. You'll meet the drivers. You'll receive autographed memorabilia. So in just about 9 laps from now, we'll remind you again at lap 50, jot down who is leading at the completion of the 50th lap and send your name, address, phone number, and the answer on the postcard to the address you see on the screen. And maybe we will be greeting you at an upcoming NASCAR Winston Cup Series race. Well, we were looking again at the videotape. Joe Nemechek might have thought somebody put oil down on the racetrack, but all of that speedy dry was in the fluids that came out of the cars after the accident. I think Jeff Bodine and Andy Hillenberg, when they got together, probably keyed it all. And let's see what we're going to find out from the Jeff Bodine crew.
Well, Eli, Jeff Bodine just taking off the gloves, and now the helmet's going to come off. Lots of damage to this car of Jeff Bodine's. Jeff, from your perspective, let him take his helmet off. From your perspective, Jeff, what happened on the racetrack? Looked like a mess.
My perspective, I think it's pretty obvious. You know, Andy Hillenberg ran into me, and I'm sure he didn't do it on purpose, but he did. I passed him going into turn 3 on the bottom, and kind of like sprint cars on this track, you hit some slippery stuff. I just slid in front of him. We didn't have any contact, but put me up in a high groove, and coming off the corner, he just slipped, I guess, hit some slippery stuff, and slid up and hit me and spun me around. I tried to keep going, but I bumped the wall, broke the radiator, and then these other boys got in a wreck. And that's a shame that happened. These track conditions are absolutely terrible. I'm sorry, Bob Baird, but, you know, I love you guys. I drove his car once at Daytona. But the track conditions are bad. These heavy cars, these small tires, the Goodyear tires, with all this horsepower, we're digging the sealer up, digging the track up, and it's terrible out there. We had a great car. The filled car was absolutely perfect out there. You know, I tried the outside a few times, and you can see what happened. You go to the back, it's so slippery, but we're going to try to get it fixed. We needed a good finish. We need a good run. Our sponsor, Phillips, they're great. They're a top company in the whole wide world, and, you know, we want to run like a top team in NASCAR. We really are running that way, but we just have bad luck, and today just an example of bad luck.
All right, well, they're working hard to get this car back in the race. Let's go now to Glenn Jarrett.
Hey, thanks, Steve. While all this has been going on, we've been listening to some of the guys talk about the problems they're having, and I'm going to update you on Dale Earnhardt. He's running pretty good for all you Dale Earnhardt fans out there, and I know there's 1 or 2 of you watching. He was having radio problems. This is the same car they ran at Richmond, had radio problems with there. They switched radio channels. That cleared the thing up. But then Dale reported back in, he's got some sort of leak in the car. It shows up on the windshield, some moisture on the windshield, whenever he starts running hard. Seems to be okay under slow speed under caution, but when he starts running hard, some kind of leak.
Going back to green in just a moment here in New Hampshire. The leader is Jeff Gordon. Lap 43 of 200 now complete, or excuse me, of 300 complete.
This NASCAR 50th anniversary moment is brought to you by Duralube.
Cale Yarborough becomes the first man in NASCAR history to win 3 consecutive Winston Cup championships. Driving a Junior Johnson Chevrolet throughout the year, Cale would finish 86 points ahead of second place Richard Petty. Cale would finish the season with 9 wins and 25 top 5 finishes.
The
20 years of racing, I've had some great moments.
An upset victory it is. Phil Parsons.
Phil Parsons is successful. And a few tough ones as well. Well, I can't always protect my car, but in all my years around the track, I've never seen a product protect a motor like Duralube.
Independent tests prove when it comes to protecting your car's engine, nothing compares to Duralube. Duralube, tomorrow's technology today.
Getting set to go back to green. Pace car begins to pull down the pit lane. We return to the Jiffy Lube 300.
Green flag, green flag.
Jeff Gordon, Dale Jarrett, Jeff Burton, Kyle Petty, and Rusty Wallace. And let's establish again, Dick Bergman, for those who are joining us along the way, that there were some engine changes today on a couple of the Roush cars. Should that be a factor as the afternoon continues?
Well, it could be. Burton, who we are currently riding with, had an oil leak of some sort. They didn't know if it was the transmission or the engine. The engine guy said, my engine's fine. Transmission guy said, my transmission's fine. So they changed both. Same with Mark Martin. Also had a mysterious leak. Did they get it fixed? We'll see. There's still a good ways to go today.
Oh, yeah, we're very, very early. Just 46 of 300 laps complete.
You know, the one nice thing about, I will add this, every motor that you put in one of these race cars has a considerable amount of time on the dyno back at the race shop, so they've checked them pretty well. Every now and again, you'll get a gremlin in there and get a leak, but they're normally pretty well thought out.
Napa timing and scoring across the top of the screen. Napa Auto Parts, we keep America running. Here goes Kyle Petty. He's in the 44. Looked to make the move for third spot. Couldn't quite get the grip off the corner. Kyle's running a smart race right now.
He is that. He looks like his father out there. Richard Petty used to just get right on the bottom of the racetrack, use every bit of the car that he needed to use, but not abuse. And right now, he's taking a look at people. Here comes Mark Martin by Darrell Walker.
This is 411th spot and give it to Mark Martin right now. So he'll grab 11th, and can Darrell bypass him?
They've been swapping back and forth. That's about the second time they passed each other, but it looks like Mark Martin gets great grip off the corner.
Well, Mark started all the way back in 15th, but where you started in Hampshire has very little to do with where you finish. And if there is a racetrack where you can start in the back and still win it, it's here. Rusty won from 33rd. Gordon from 21st, and look at this.
Here comes Earnhardt. Earnhardt looking on the inside of Waltrip. Car owner chasing one of his drivers there. Darrell Waltrip driving the Earnhardt car. They're coming through the corner there. It looks to me like Earnhardt's got his car dialed in pretty well today.
You talked about starting positions, Dick. Only Ricky Rudd, when he won here from third, had what you'd consider a decent starting spot. Everybody else is starting from way back.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. You can start from almost anywhere, it seems, except the front row and win at this place.
There goes Jeff Burton, just sweeping by Jarrett up into turn 3. He'll grab second spot.
Eli, early in the race, if you're a little bit off, a good caliber driver like Dale Jarrett will not jeopardize his car by doing things foolish. So he'll give him a break right now, adjust the car on the first pit stop, go back out and race very, very hard.
Watching Burton, let's remember that he won here last year.
Right. Now watch Johnny Benson. When he goes into the corner, we're seeing smoke off the rear of the car. Don't know if he was, somebody got into him there and some tire smoke, but looks like the right rear. We'll watch it again. But the Betty Crocker colors on the 26th this week, definitely smoking from the right rear of the car as he went into the corner each and every time by. It's slight, but it's clearly there.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah. You can see it smoking under acceleration there.
That's not part of the sponsorship deal. They're not cooking anything back there, are they? No.
Up closer now, we see Gary Bradbury just ahead of Johnny Benson. They are running 33rd and 34th, respectively. Looking back from Bradbury towards Benson. For those of you who are choosing to play that TNN, take home a piece of the action sweepstakes, remember you want to write down that Jeff Gordon was the race leader at lap number 50 here today. Jeff Gordon, the race leader, lap number 50. For those of you who are playing TNNs, take home a piece of the action sweepstakes.
Looking at the computer here, the fastest car of that last lap was Dale Jarrett, 126.
There goes Earnhardt, grabbing 12th from Darrell Waltrip. Schrader in the 33 comes along as well. DW not getting off the corners now. That's where he's losing position here.
Yeah, but give him time. They've got that car set up so it's best on long runs. And Felipe Lopez told me this morning that what they really need to do is run a whole lot of laps before that car will come in. And right now, you're absolutely right, Eli. He's not running as good.
Loose.
Yeah, not running as well as he had been.
We allow you to have a very astute eye, because I just was told by our spotters that he is reporting to his crew chief that he's very, very loose.
See, every dog has his day. I get lucky every now and then. 54 laps complete. 246, as you see in the upper right of your screen.
See Rick Mast there in the 75 car. He's moving up also. They had to land the airplane on the way back to Sonoma, or the road course race in Denver, Colorado. Take him off and replenishing the fluids in his body. He dehydrated in the race out there. They thought he was having a heart attack, but it was thankfully not anything serious other than just dehydration.
Right, that and a little carbon monoxide in the system, but Rick Mast just fine. He would have been okay had we won the Pepsi 400 at Daytona last week, and he was ready to go. And there is Rick, who won here in a NASCAR Busch Series race. Matter of fact, the last of his 9 career Busch Series victories came here at the New Hampshire International Speedway. Up front, there you see Jeff Gordon. Then the lapped car of Robert Presley, ahead of second place Jeff Burton. That's us up there. Back in a minute.
Are you concerned about losing more hair? Do you wonder how much further it will go? Do you wish you could do something about it? Well, now there's a pill for men with certain types of hair loss. Introducing Propecia. In clinical studies, the vast majority of men, 83%, maintain their current hair count, and most, 66%, regrew some hair. Take it daily and you could see results in as little as 3 months. Propecia is for men only. A small number of men experience certain sexual side effects. Each occurred in less than 2% of men. Women who are or may potentially be pregnant must not use it or handle broken tablets because of the risk of a specific kind of birth defect. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist and read the consumer information they can provide. Propecia, helping make hair loss history.
Welcome to the newest Pep Boys Automotive Supercenter, home to a world-class collection of accessories, parts, tires, and service.
You're gonna love it.
Pep Boys.
Cars like us.
People love us.
This week on Motor Trend, we look at trucks as we take you to Peterson's Truck Fest at Charlotte Motor Speedway and both a 4-inch lift kit on our Project Jeep. Motor Trend Trucks, today at 5:30 on TNN.
A summer storm is coming to Norfolk. A deluge that will turn Willoughby Bay into a sea of froth. A hurricane of unlimited hydroplanes that will slash across the water at 200 miles per hour. On July 17th, 18th, and 19th, board up your windows, grab your family, and bring them to Willoughby Spit for the 1998 Virginia is for Lovers Cup Unlimited Hydroplane Race. General admission is free.
The new Harley-Davidson Sportster.
Come see the new 98s at Southside at Hampton Roads Harley-Davidson.
It's still not for everyone.
Welcome back, everybody. There you see the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th place machines on your screen. Rusty Wallace, Mike Skinner, Don Andretti, and Mark Martin as we ride with Mark now through the corner back towards turn number 4. If you're curious about Jeremy Mayfield, he is back in 18th spot right now as we see Skinner bypassing Rusty Wallace to grab 4th spot. Good outside move there going into the corner.
Great outside move, and Mike Skinner's really proving a point right now. He's been injured most of the year, as you said earlier in the broadcast. But you can very well see that he and Larry McReynolds have their act together this weekend. He's moving right to the front.
And let's make that Larry McReynolds point with an explanation point at the end of it. McReynolds was crew chief for Davey Allison here in the opening race in 93. They finished third. Ernie Irvin led 106 laps here in 94 with McReynolds as crew chief. They almost won it. McReynolds did win it with Ernie Irvin in 96. He was second last year with Earnhardt. McReynolds knows what he is doing at New Hampshire.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. You mentioned Davey. You realize that today is 5 years to the day that Davey Allison passed away?
Yeah.
It's amazing. It seems like yesterday.
Yesterday to me, too. I'm looking at Mark Martin right now. He's looking at the 43 car there. And you can see Andretti is not up to speed like he was just a few laps back. Mark Martin has moved from 15th to 7th or 6th, make it right now, and he's working on Andretti. You can see the back of Andretti's car getting sideways just a little bit out of the corner.
Here comes Mark on the outside.
Meanwhile, here's a good scramble between Bobby Labonte and Ricky Craven, 14th and 15th right there. Ahead of the 75 of Rick Mast, Kenny Wallace in the 81, and there you see the 12, Jeremy Mayfield. 14th spot about to change hands. Labonte's got it. Craven's going to have to work to get back in line. Hutch Strickland has just come out of the infield care center. Steve Burns has been waiting on him. Steve?
Yeah, good news, Eli. Hut just came out. Hut, I saw your race car. It wasn't in very good shape. How are you?
I'm fine, Steve. You know, got a pretty sore tongue right now, but you know, it's just an unfortunate thing. You know, we got wrong place at the wrong time. We felt like we had a good race car today. You know, it just wasn't meant to be.
You're all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm probably going to have a sore, be pretty sore here the next 2 or 3 days, but I think we'll survive.
That's Hut Strickland done for the day. Now, I thought Craven might be able to get in line there ahead of Kenny Wallace and the others, but couldn't quite make it stick. Here comes Jeff Green in the 46. Musgrave in the 16 will try and close that inside also.
Ricky Craven's caught on the outside there in line. He's just giving up spots left and right now. You see Jeremy Mayfield making his way on the inside. Terry Labonte, one of the quickest cars in happy hour yesterday.
NASCAR timing and scoring presented by MCI here this afternoon. Here's Ricky Rudd now bypassing Ricky Craven. Joe Nemechek back. He'll be 34 laps down if you're a fan of the Nemechek plan. Joe back in the race, 34 laps in arrears. The speed some of these guys are turning. Of course, not Bodine and Nemechek, but all the others who are running out there. They're well shy. We're having a spread on the track right now of as much as 4 miles an hour from what Jeff Gordon's turning to some of the fellows nearer to the back of the field.
Interesting, though, speeds have not dropped off very much from when they got brand new tires on these cars, and that leads to the conclusion that we could see some interesting pit strategy with 2 tire changes, maybe some no tire changes at the end.
We saw that last year. A lot of guys going with 2 tire changes to improve track position, short pitting. We've also seen that when you come in just a bit early to try and force other people's hands or take advantage of when they do make a pit stop. 69 of 300 laps complete.
You see Kyle Petty's dropped back a little bit, and it's obvious why. You can see the tail end of the 44 there. Getting very, very wide, coming off the corner, sliding around just a little bit. I'm sure he's loose.
He's in 10th place now, ahead of Dale Earnhardt at 11th, then Kenny Schrader 12th. Well, Ernie's hanging in there, but he may lose his spot. Oh, Kyle is loose. Oh, goodness.
Interesting art on the door, isn't it?
Yeah, that's early American donut.
Where?
These 2 guys are working this traffic very, very well. Just a few laps back, you watch the 3 of Earnhardt fighting with Darrell Waltrip trying to get by him. Now he's about a quarter of a straightaway ahead of him.
Up front, it's still about 3/10 of a second. There you see the spread from Jeff Gordon back to Jeff Burton. Dale Jarrett is 3rd. We're still early on a beautiful day here in New Hampshire.
Michael came onto the scene in IndyCars as a winner. I'm very proud of the fact that he's carrying on the Andretti name. I'll never forget the first really competitive pass that he did on me. We banged wheels a little bit, and he was gone. Adios, Dada.
The Andrettis rely on the same Texaco Havilland Formula 3 motor oil you can buy right off the shelf.
That's my boy.
And for your cooling system, get Haviland Extended Life Antifreeze from Texaco.
Finally, man has achieved Mach 3.
There's a certain amount of pride that comes with doing it yourself, and Peerless makes it easy. So go ahead, let everyone know. I installed my own faucet this weekend. I installed a Peerless, the do-it-for-yourself faucet.
In South Dallas, a lot of folks like to work on their cars, and a lot of them come to AutoZone. They save money on top-quality parts, and they find helpful people, like Rocky Brown. Oh, sure, there are other parts stores in town, but Rocky's the kind of guy folks go out of their way to see. He's good at solving problems, and he really knows his parts. You see, when it comes to getting the right part, the right price, and good advice, there's just no place better than AutoZone.
Competition won't be able to explain when the only four-door rookie in NASCAR starts blowing their doors off. Maybe they should get more doors. Ford Taurus.
CNN Motorsports live coverage of the Jiffy Lube 300 is being brought to you by the more than 2,000 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. And by the Ford F-Series, the best-selling trucks are built Ford tough. Riding with Jeff Burton here at New Hampshire International Speedway, Eli Gold, Dick Berggren, Buddy Baker, Glenn Jarrett, Steve Burns, Matt Yoakum. Glad you are with us. That's the battle for the lead right now. They are 2.5 seconds, Gordon and Jeff Burton are ahead of third place Dale Jarrett. Mike Skinner in fourth, and Mark Martin, who's now coming in a hurry. He's fifth, but it is 8 seconds from first place back to fifth. That's the kind of pace those two fellas are setting right now.
Eli, we watched this. This is like watching a replay of last year. Jeff Burton is very, very strong on long runs. Jeff Gordon leading the race in the early stages.
There you saw the 2.5 second look back to Dale Jarrett running in third. They have just put a lap on Gary Bradbury, and here goes Burton for the lead. Got him over between turns 1 and 2.
Made that look easy,
effortless,
didn't he?
I was going to say.
Yeah, well, he'd been dogging Gordon, and he might fall back a little bit, but then he'd get right on Gordon's bumper, and then boom, and look at the lead he has opened up on Jeff Gordon at this little time.
Well, he didn't just move over and let him by there. He slipped over in turn 2 and got out of the groove and got up into some of the marbles or loose stuff on the outside of the groove there, and got a little side.
If you're a Sterling Marlins fan, they have taken the car behind the wall after some of the problems they had earlier. There you see the spread back all the way now to 4th and 5th spot. Skinner and Mark Martin. They are running 4th and 5th. They are 8 seconds behind the leader, and give that spot to Mark Martin.
Martin had a tough qualifying run. It had rained here just before qualifying, and a lot of guys that went early, Martin was one of them, said they didn't like the racetrack. Martin said he just took what he could get out of it, didn't push the car, didn't want to wreck it. But everybody knew he was going to be fast in the race, and he is.
If I was Skinner right now, I can't think of anybody I'd want to follow more than Mark Martin. He's got a good groove. He's in like a drone right now. You can see the roof panel there on the Skinner car vibrating a little bit in the straightaway. Mark slips a little bit there, but he's got a great groove out of the corner. Look how straight it runs towards the straightaway.
That's one of those low snout cars. Same car that Morgan Shepherd drove at Martinsville, and Skinner really hasn't as much experience in a low snout car as some of the others. What are we talking about when we describe a car that way, buddy?
Eli, it's a real simple thing to explain. All the running gear has been moved down on the chassis part of the car, so you actually get the running gear lower on the racetrack. It makes it turn in a lot better.
Good setup for a flat track, not for a high bank track. Oh, look at Nemechek's car, or what's left of it.
He is 34 laps down, and now he comes down the pit lane for service here at lap number 82. There you see Burton the 99, trying to get around Johnny Benson and put him a lap down. Benson's running 32nd in car 26. That new paint scheme, the Betty Crocker colors, were to have been on the car at Daytona, but what with the postponement of the Pepsi 400 until October 17th, they're running those colors here, and Benson and Miss Crocker go a lap down.
It's almost impossible to believe right now that Jeff Burton is this far along in the year without winning with this dominant race car that you're watching right now. He's just mowing everybody down, but has not won in 98.
Right, he's led at Vegas, he led at Darlington in Texas, he led at Dover, led at Michigan, led at Pocono, but he hasn't won a race. Jeff Gordon now is a full second behind Glenn.
Yeah, you know, I've been watching the clocks and talking to Ray Evernham, and Jeff is reporting the car's gotten a little bit loose. Buddy, you were right on the nose when Burton got under him. He did get a little loose there, and Jeff got under him and driving away. Dale Jarrett also reports his car is just a little bit loose. We're on lap 84 right now. Ray told me that they thought they could go easily to lap 90 or 95, so they're starting to stir around down here. Talk about the things they're going to do to the cars to adjust them when they make those stops. But bear in mind, if they make green flag stops, they just don't have as much time to make adjustments.
Working now, lap number 85. There's Rusty Wallace, Dale Earnhardt, and Ken Schrader. 9th, 10th, and 11th. Ernie Irvan right behind in that Skittles car. He's running 12th.
Eli, Rusty's off the pace just a little bit. He was running second just a little while ago and has dropped all the way to 9th now.
That's Ronnie, the car he's driving here today. He's running in 16 races, and it's always run well. 3 wins and 9 top 5s. Heck, he has 12 top 10s in the 16 races that he's run. Ronnie, but settling in for the ride right now in 9th spot.
He's another guy. You look at his record this year and wonder why Rusty Wallace has not won 3 or 4 or 5 races.
Got to have a little bit of that racing luck sometime, as here comes the pole sitter to be lapped on the racetrack. The 99, Jeff Burton, the race leader, puts Craven in 30th spot, a lap down. You see the 21, Michael Waltrip, he has been lapped. 30, Derek Cope, he has been lapped.
I could see Ricky Craven's car a little tail happy there also. Yeah. I think he has a loose condition in that race car. And right now, everybody's needing to adjust on these cars just a little bit. They're never perfect on the first stop.
It's tough to get out of the lap. Real tough to get out of the lap this early.
There is Craven. A lap down at lap 88. We're roughly 7 laps or so away from expected pit stops on this track that measures just over a mile, 1.058 miles around.
Boy, it'd be tough to say you needed to adjust on the 99 the way it runs on long runs. Jeff Burton really has this thing dialed in. Looks like he can go anywhere he wants to on the racetrack.
You saw Jerry Nadeau being bypassed there seconds ago.
Nadeau's in the pits right now.
Here he comes in.
There's a backup car. Wrecked his primary car at happy hour last night.
Had his first accident actually on Friday morning. He was in practice and then found himself in the wall then as well. Bobby Hamilton is in for pit service.
We're at lap 90. They'll all be finding a way into the pits very, very soon.
We had teams pit as early as lap number 4. Here comes Darrell Waltrip in for service. He's in now at lap number 90. Crew going to work there. Felipe Lopez, the crew chief on that car.
Eli, I have not seen a wrench go on that race car. I think Darrell Waltrip's just very happy with the car at the moment. They're cleaning the grill there, getting ready to go back in action.
By the way, Felipe and his wife Angela are new parents, twin girls who were born on the 29th of June, Sydney Francis and Ashley Collette. Now here come many of the leaders in. There you see Chad Little, Ernie Irvan is in, Rick Mast, Green. Here comes Rich Bickle. Let's go to pit road.
And Chad Little's in. They just made a chassis adjustment to the right rear of the 90. 97 of Chad Little. Right side tires are already on. This is a good pit stop for this team. Chad said they're trying to work on consistency. A little trouble on the left front of the 97. 22.3 seconds.
More pit stops now. Lap number 92. Kenny Schrader is in. Kenny Wallace is in. The new leader now is Jeff Gordon as the 99 peels off the racetrack. So Jeff Burton is in, and Jeff Gordon reassumes the lead here at lap number 93. Steve Burns.
Chad's teammate Jeff Burton is in right in the pit stall behind him. They're not making any chassis adjustments to the 99. That's how good. They're just going to make air pressure adjustments on the car of Jeff Burton. Let's check in now with Glenn Jarrett.
And Dale Jarrett brings the 88 forward in, and guys, he was completely out of gas. The engine is off right now. It has not refired. It will be a 4-tire stop and a chassis adjustment. The car was getting a little loose, so they're going to put some bite in the left rear. And one of the things that they're also doing is they've got this can of ether out there to spray it to try to help him refire it. Here's Matt.
Mark Martin's already down and away. A 4-tire pit stop for Mark. No chassis adjustments. He says his car was perfect.
There you see they're having problems getting Jarrett going, and finally that Ford kicks in. Terry Labonte in for service, lap number 94. Gordon is the race leader. There he is. Ahead of him, Schrader is already stopped, and we'll be expecting to see Gordon in shortly. Kyle Petty will make the pit stop here at lap number 94. He and the Hot Wheels team having a good run. He's third at the moment before heading down the pit lane. All of this under green. We've had 3 cautions. And here comes Jeff Gordon now. Gordon will pit at lap number 95. That is going to hand the lead to Mike Skinner. So Skinner takes the lead, and Gordon is heading to his pit stall.
And they're waiting on him, Eli. They're going to make a slight chassis adjustment. Also, as I told you, Jeff's reporting the car just a little bit too loose for his liking. He brings in now, obviously, this will be a 4-tire stop. No fuel problems for Gordon. He's still running. We've got the clock on him. These guys have been busting off some great pit stops lately. There you can see the chassis adjustment made on the right rear of the car as they move around to the left side. The jack is up now. And the tires go on. The critical thing here now is on these green flag runs, he's down and away in 19 seconds flat. Critical thing is to get as much fuel in that car as possible.
Here comes Mike Skinner now. That will make Bobby Labonte your race leader. So Bobby Labonte will pick up 5 points for leading at lap number 96 as Skinner is in with Larry McReynolds and the boys working Matt Yoakum.
They're going to make a small chassis adjustment through the 31 car. He says his car was just a tick tight. They're also going to add a ½ a pound of air to the right rear to try to loosen him up just a little bit. They started the race a little bit tight, thinking the track would go loose. 18.8 seconds, but the car did not really go to the loose side too much, so they made some adjustments.
So Bobby Labonte, now the race leader. 98 laps complete here at New Hampshire International Speedway. Green flag pit stops underway. We're back on TNN Motorsports in a moment.
Synthetic motor oil. Even at 475 degrees, nothing outperforms Mobil 1.
So, I read an article that says they think about it every 8 seconds. I wouldn't doubt it. It seems like the only thing Dave ever wanted. They have one-track minds. It must be something biological or genetic. Men, they're all the same.
Hey. You read my mind.
Knife and stone. It was a knife of mythic proportions. And no one could resist the pull of the knife. And then one day came the answer.
takes a big, juicy Outback steak to unlock the true potential of the legendary Outback steak knife.
Just what I was looking for.
Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
Now, if I could only find the fork in the road.
Welcome to the newest Pep Boys Automotive Supercenter, a world-class collection of parts at unbeatable prices.
Like ProStart's 75-month batteries, $29.99 after mail-in rebate.
Pep Boys. Cars like us. People love us.
Want 50% more shine stuff? Get new Ultra Shine Protectant from Armor All. It's the ultimate shine.
July 25th on TNN Motorsports. It's IndyCar racing the way it should be.
Through the grass. Oh, look at this.
For the lead on the outside, 3 wide.
That was close. Whoa, dropping back straightaway.
Don't miss the high speed on the high banks as the Pep Boys Indy Racing League invades the Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's the Visionaire 500, live July 25th at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific on TNN Motorsports.
We are back. Jimmy Spencer was the race leader at lap number 100 through 102, but Jimmy went wide moments ago and had to roll the car down, and that's when Bill Elliott took the lead. Here's what happened to Spencer before.
See Spencer losing the back of the car, getting in the corner, still chasing it up the hill, lucky not to spin. As he gets up in the loose stuff, you can almost see the rubber dust and all flying up off the back of the car as he's out of the groove.
So that gives the lead to the 94 of Bill Elliott. First time he has ever led here at New Hampshire International Speedway. Backtracking for you, if you're keeping some stats at home or want to know if your favorite has led a lap, Jeff Burton, of course, led from lap 78 through 92. Jeff Gordon has led. Mike Skinner has led. Bobby Labonte has led. Jimmy Spencer and now Bill Elliott having taken the lead at lap 103. So that's where we stand here at the New Hampshire International Speedway. They issue some pretty good pit times. Of course, notice the differential there. Nadu doing as we might have guessed, buddy, using that the two-tire stop to improve track position.
Track position is so important. If you want to see what making a pit stop for fresh tires does for you, the 88 of Dale Jarrett just made a stop just a second ago. Dale Elliott's running very well, but just in one lap, he has about a 6 or 7 car length lead there.
Jarrett is in 17th position now, remember. Jarrett is on the tail end of the lead lap in the 88 car. And there you see the pit summaries. Jarrett from 3rd to 17th. Skinner from 5th to 11th. If you're curious about Spencer, remember when he was involved in that accident way back on lap 34, that's why he is on a different pit schedule when the accident with Lake Speed and Nemechek and Hudd and all those fellas. Spencer came in for service and had fuel put on. That's why he's on a different pit schedule right now. The 97 right there, unlapping himself. Chad Little becomes now the 18th driver on the lead lap. He's on the tail end of the lead lap. There goes Jeff Gordon working his way through traffic. He with Mark Martin in the 6th behind him. They go past Trickle, and now they're 7th and 8th on the leaderboard.
Mark Martin is absolutely flying. He's run Jeff Gordon down from about a 10-car length deficit and just 2 or 3 laps there. So the 6th car, Mark Martin, very, very good.
It looks good, too, didn't it, buddy? I mean, it looked as if that car was real smooth going through the corners.
If you're keeping tabs on Joe Nemechek, he is on the track 34 laps down. Jeff Bodine, who was in that accident, is back. He is 59 laps down. If you're a Sterling Marlin fan, after losing the tire and then taking out all the panels and so on, he is 34 laps down as well.
And if you're a Mark Martin fan, let's remind you, he has yet to win here, but he could well do it today. He's led 4 out of 6 events here. He's won 2 poles, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th at this place, never won 8. Maybe today.
Maybe today is right, because you could see he went by the early leader in this race, Jeff Gordon, pretty effortless. That car is sticking like glue in the corner.
Martin's not won here, nor at Daytona, nor at Indianapolis, nor Pocono. Of course, 3 of his 4-point wins this year have come at tracks where he had never won before. Las Vegas, Texas, and California. Yeah, maybe today is the day again.
This is NASCAR. This is you. And this is us. Hot Wheels Pro Racing will get you this close to the action. With Hot Wheels Pro Racing Die-Cast, the best of NASCAR in 3 scales. The Legend Series, unsurpassed detail in 64th scale. And Legends to Life, with real racing motion and digital sound. If they drive it, we make it. On the track, off the track, in the pits. Investment quality collectibles. Because to get them right on this scale, you gotta race them on this one. We're Hot Wheels.
You've done the math and figured out that you can consolidate bills and still afford to make some home improvements. But the lenders tell you that you don't have enough equity. Hi, I'm Dan Marino. If this has happened to you, call First Plus Financial at 1-800-510-PLUS. They'll lend you up to 125% of the value of your home, less your first mortgage balance. There's no application fees, and you'll get an answer before you hang up. Don't listen to those other lenders. Call First Plus at 1-800-510-PLUS.
Welcome back. Bill Elliott is in at lap 112. Let's get the update.
And right side tires going on. They're also making a chassis adjustment to the right rear. Just 2 tires for Bill Elliott. Little strategy here. 2 tires for Bill Elliott.
So he and Jerry Nadeau among those who've gone with 2 tires. Jimmy Spencer took over the lead, but that was just momentary because the 99, Jeff Burton, just swept right by him going into the corner. And the 99 Exide Ford, now the leader again.
Yeah, Jimmy Spencer giving up great track position right now by staying out on the racetrack because he has great fuel mileage from stopping earlier in the race. But right now, Jeff Burton passed him and put about a 15-car length lead on him in that 1 lap there.
When Jeff Burton won here last July, he led 99 laps on that afternoon, so it was not a fluke as we have caution. Caution for Rick Mast in the wall in turn 1. Rick Mast running in 20th spot has brought out the caution. Lap number 115 as up the limited 12-degree banking he went and didn't stop till the wall grabbed him. So caution on the speedway. Leaders coming off turn number 4 right now. And here comes Bobby Hamilton to unlap himself. And indeed, Hamilton does beat Burton back to the stripe. So Bobby Hamilton is now legal in the 4 and will come back around to make up a lap.
Let me just point out one thing. Jimmy Spencer's sitting in pretty good shape now. He gets to make his pit stop under the caution, adjust on the car. He'll have fresh tires where these other guys have been several laps now on new tires, and they're beginning to wear down.
Right, the first of the beginning of this pit stops came at lap 88. We're now at 115, so we're well down the line here. The big names, if you will, pitted for the most part, lap 92, lap 93, 94, and so on. Even at that, you're 20 laps better than 20 miles down the road. So you're right, a whole different pit stop sequence now that we'll be seeing unfold here in the Jiffy Lube 300. Under caution for the 4th time today as the fans enjoy the Souvenir Midway here in New Hampshire.
All across America, you're there to see us through. Just around the corner, my neighborhood Jiffy Lube.
You depend on your car, so trust it to Jiffy Lube. Jiffy Lube makes it easy. Every 3,000 miles.
3,000 miles, you make us smile. America's Jiffy Lube.
Drive in, drive out, drive on.
The more power, the quicker the flash, the brighter the smiles. The more power, the more music to enjoy. Introducing the remarkable power of new Duracell Ultra with a concentrated power force to get more life out of your high-tech devices. The more power, the longer the call, the more expressive the conversation. New Duracell Ultra. More power, more life.
This week on NASCAR Garage, meet NASCAR owner and driver Dave Marcus. Check out the critical steering gear and more.
NASCAR Garage, this weekend on the leader for motorsports coverage, TNN Motorsports.
you really want to make the insurance companies choke, hire real attorneys, not actors. I'm Mike Joins from law firm of Joins McCarry. At Joins McCarry, we're available 24 hours a day. We offer free consultations, and we'll even come to you.
If you're hurt, call Joins McCarry.
Who was that lawyer?
The Money Crunch can make life unbearable. It can make you feel like everything is closing in on you. But there's a way to beat the Money Crunch. Put your house to work for you by refinancing. One call to Tidewater Mortgage Services and you'll see how easy it is to save money every month. Mortgage rates are low and you should call now. Get more out of life. Just call Tidewater Mortgage Services at 422-9500 and say goodbye to the Money Crunch forever.
We are back in New Hampshire. Hope you've had a chance to check out the NASCAR Thunder store nearest to you. If not, you need to do so. Go on into the official store of NASCAR. Open in cities all across the country. And you can call that phone number you see on the screen and get information about the store located nearest to your home. NASCAR Thunder, the all-new and official store of NASCAR. Well, enough of our guessing about pit strategies and all. Now we know how long you can go until the next caution, because everybody else comes in, you got to come in too. Everybody is pitted here at lap 116 and 117 for fresh tires and fuel. Some taking 4 tires, some taking 2.
Eli, these spotters are so sharp. They were looking at Jimmy Spencer out there on used tires compared to Jeff Burton when he come up on him there to pass him. And I mean, it wasn't even close. It was like a second difference per lap on fresh tires. So everybody couldn't take the gamble. They had to get in here and get fresh tires.
There is the First Plus race summary brought to you by First Plus Financial. At First Plus, we're working first for you. You see the average speed way down. The track record is 117.134 miles an hour. Jeff Burton's numbers here a year ago, but with only 2 cautions that day, and today already 4. There's Rick Mast. He's been in now for 3 visits to the pit lane after tagging the wall over there in turn number 1. As we said, back in 1990, he won the last of his 9 NASCAR Busch Series wins here. There is Gary Bradbury subbing in the Tabasco car. Not really a relief driver because Todd Bodine was released by that operation. Bradbury in for this week only. Another driver to be announced in time for the race coming up in a couple of weeks' time at Pocono. That's a strange deal. I think it's clear to a lot of folks. Todd Bodine did not forget how to drive a race car from one year to the next. But at the same time, that's a good piece of equipment, too. It's so much communication in this business.
Chemistry, chemistry, chemistry. You can have a great team, you can have a great driver, and if things just don't properly mesh, you don't have success. When it meshes well, boy, it just seems as if you can do no wrong at all. Look at Gordon's bunch as a good example of that kind of chemistry, or Dale Jarrett's group is a team that has got terrific chemistry.
Bradbury being shown in 35th spot as Gordon is now in 2nd spot. Glenn Jarrett, we're about a lap from going back to green. Let's review some of the pit stops here.
Okay, Eli, Jeff Gordon came in under that caution. He took 2 tires and fuel. So did Kyle Petty. Dale Jarrett came in, and he took fuel only. That was a big break for him because he lost so much time when he ran out of gas. Ernie Irvin came in for 2 in fuel, and Ricky Craven, the post hitter, who's already gone a lap down, he came in the second time around. He took 4 tires and made major chassis adjustments. Let's go to Steve.
Hey, Glenn, Dale Earnhardt made some major adjustments as well on that 3 car. They raised the track bar, and they also pulled a spring rubber out of the right front. It was a very lengthy stop. The 99 of Jeff Burton, 2 tires only, no chassis adjustments. Let's go to Matt Yoakum.
Well, Steve, that caution came out as a big break for Mark Martin. In the last round of pit stops, they were in such a hurry to get Mark off pit road for track position and did not get enough fuel in the car. So when that caution came out, that allowed them to come back in, put in 11 gallons of fuel, make an adjustment on the car, because the car was just tick tight. Also, John Andretti, they came in, took on 2 tires, no adjustments. John likes the way the car is handling.
Glenn mentioned Dale Jarrett was 14th, now 6th after the pit stop of moments ago. About set to go back to green.
Pick it up. Green flag. Green flag. Green flag. Green flag.
They roll off into the corner again. The 99, Jeff Burton showing the way. Gordon in second to the 24. And from overhead, we watch Mike Skinner stay right with him. Man, he's running well today.
He is that. The car has been up front all day long. Larry McReynolds turning the wrenches on that car this weekend. His crew chief is doing a great job. Mike Skinner, probably his best run since Daytona this year.
Yeah, in Daytona, he was 8th, and that was his only top 10 finish of the year. Through traffic, the 6th, Mark Martin right there. He is in 4th spot. The green car, Bobby Labonte, he is running in 5th. The 43 with the STP colors, John Andretti is in 6th. Dale Jarrett now in 7th. The 2 of Rusty Wallace, he's running 8th. As they all go inside of Dick Trickle off the corner.
Well, you watch that number 43. Remember, Bobby Hamilton was in that car last year, and they had great runs in both races. Finished 3rd here in September. That's a team that's got a good book on this racetrack for sure.
They've had a good book on flat tracks, even at the end of Richard Petty's driving days when things weren't going all that well for the King. At Pocono and the other tracks that were flat, Rich was always a factor.
Well, they have a guy there that's not the crew chief anymore, but has been with Petty Engineering forever and ever, Dale Inman.
Yeah.
He's like almost like a consultant for the team, and he don't let them get too far off base as far as what really works and what does not work.
And they got a driver who last race here at Winston Cup had his best finish of 1998. Great run for John Andretti out at Sonoma.
124 laps down. 176 remaining as Jarrett now gets around Labonte right there to grab 7th. Jarrett in the 88, Labonte the green 18. And there's old Kyle back in the picture now, running up near the front earlier. He is now in 9th spot, and the yellow number 1, Darrell Waltrip, is in 10th.
Darrell Waltrip said, "How am I doing?" "Just fine, thank you." The car is right on the bottom of the racetrack, doing very well. Looks to me that Jeremy Mayfield has a good car now, too.
Engine failure, the story on Gary Bradbury and the Tabasco team. Done for the day. There they are going back to the garage. Engine failure. Meanwhile, second place is tightening up just a bit. Oh, Mike Skinner turning it up a bit against Jeff Gordon. Looks like Skinner gets him into the corner, and Gordon pulls him through and off the corner.
You know, Mike Skinner was the champion in the Craftsman Cup Series, and he learned a lot about taking care of his tires. And I think Larry Mack is just what he needs to keep him from burning the tires off. He says, okay, you got to do this, you got to do that. I think he's a great coach for Mike Skinner.
And you know where he coaches him best? It's on the radio every single lap. Skinner loves to hear that, and Larry McReynolds is talking to him constantly during the running of the race, telling him what to do. And, oh, we've got a problem on the racetrack.
Rich Bickle is in the wall. Rich Bickle is in the wall, and we have caution on the speedway in turn number 4. There goes Ted Musgrave in the wall now. Musgrave tags the wall at the other end of the speedway. Musgrave running in the 18th position. So Bickle first in 28th spot, and then Musgrave right there at the other end of the racetrack.
You can see Ted Musgrave moving around inside the car. That's a good sign right there. A lot of damage to the rear end of that race car, though.
Under caution. There you see Bickle.